Welcome everyone! We are the Grin brothers and we're continuing our playthrough of Kirby Star Allies. Funny thing I thought about when I looked at this, it came to mind that maybe one thing to freshen up the Kirby series might be to might be to, you know, change up what the locations are. Because it's a lot of the same sort of kind of locations.
Yeah.
But I thought a game which needed that more so is, of course, the new Super Mario Bros. Series, or well, Mario series in general. Okay, Parasol is useless, so I'm going to replace Cutter. Sorry, not Parasol is useless, I mean Cutter is... Oh.
Do I have a fire? Oh, I do. Hold on.
Fair enough.
Oh.
And sadly, bombs are not, you know, don't have fire to them. Oh.
Hold on. I can do this.
There we go. But then I realised the game that which needs to do that more so is the Mario series. And one idea I've had previously for like new environments for the Mario series was basing off the like. Admittedly based more so off the idea of returning to a brick environment.
Yeah.
But going with, you know, a historical theme to it. But then I realised that was actually the idea for the cancelled CDI Mario game.
Well, we could go back to Hotel Mario. That was an interesting setting.
Yeah.
I think. Does it count? Hotels? I don't know many games that take place in hotels.
Exclusively hotels. You know, take real life hotels as the sort of setting and such.
Can't wait for the level where you get to play in Trump's hotel.
You know, maybe if the people who directed Shark Fu were in charge of Mario.
That would definitely happen. To be honest, I'm surprised. I guess it wasn't around the right time, really, for it, was it?
What, you're surprised that the people who make Shark Fu don't make the Mario series? No, I'm pretty sure there's good reasons they don't.
No, I'm definitely surprised they don't. They should.
It's okay, don't know if you wanted to say anything first, but I've got a pretty lengthy conversation to have.
My brain's barely functioning.
Okie dokie. Well, I guess you can react to the stuff I talk about then.
Sure.
Because I've got 3 different
Wait,
things...
no, I can't react to Liam. It's been trademarked by Fine Brothers. I'm never going to let that go.
Oh, no.
Nor should we.
Oh, yeah. Actually, on that note, I watched a documentary on the downfall of Channel Awesome, as it were, effectively. You know, change the channel thing. Yeah. And one of Cinema Snob's comments trying to defend against criticism sort of thing is he brought up the example. He goes, I don't think it's anything to worry about too much. I mean, Logan Paul filmed a dead body and he still gets work on YouTube. It's like, that is true, but that's not the kind of you know, comparison you want to give yourself.
Yeah, you don't really want to compare yourself to Logan Paul, but at the same time, he is right. YouTube don't care as long as they get money out of you. Damn it.
I have to do it eventually.
No.
Yeah, extra stage. But yeah, so Dead or Alive 6, there's 3 whole different subjects I've actually written down for it.
That's a lot of subjects.
So let's see, I guess I'll start with the cute one first. I was originally going to mention it in the minis, because I mentioned how I've been playing Pokemon with Charlie in the minis.
Yeah.
So I was also going to mention something about Gracie as well. You know, Little Hurricane in one video, Little Abyss in the other.
Yeah, she's been trying to play DOA, hasn't she?
Yes! The Little Abyss really likes Dead or Alive. She keeps turning on my Xbox One and starting up Dead or Alive.
She should not be able to do that.
And while she's waiting for it to turn to write up, she's been taking any bit of paper, usually something written on. She won't accept the paper which is blank.
Yeah.
Takes the bit of paper that's been written on and starts doodling on it. Whilst she waits for Dead or Alive to start up.
It's impressive.
She looks at Kazumi, just smiles and goes, Asumi.
Wow. It's impressive. There was a puzzle piece.
Oh.
Cool. She's managed to pick up on Asumi's name quicker than she has most people's.
Yes! Oh.
I guess we have a chef.
Might as well. I mean, they're generally useless, but I think it's actually kind of funny that they're kind of like...
We just cancelled his ultimate and it immediately killed everything. Oops! Carrying on.
But
Swagmouse wins.
I find that adorable, but I'm also not sure that's kind of the first video game I should be introducing the 1-year-old to.
It could be worse.
I mean, yeah, it's not like there's any sort of violent content. It's not like, you know, it's bare core values than Mortal Kombat, after all.
It's not as if there's any violent content, he says, in the fighting game.
But, you know...
I know what you mean, but, like, choice of...
Dead or Alive's sort of reason it gets a higher age rating, I feel, is less of a problem than, of course, say, Mortal Kombat. Not that the industry would agree.
Yeah,
because they're kind of backwards like that.
Mortal Kombat hasn't done great. People don't seem to be a fan of it.
Oh no, well, I mean the main reason is their horrendous DLC practice. I mean, heck, they're putting Dead or Alive to shame at this rate. I mean,
yeah, and that's impressive.
Dead or Alive's the game with a $90, well, 60 quid for us, a 60 quid season pass.
Yeah.
Like, Dead or Alive's thing, like, to be fair, Dead or Alive isn't microtransactions. And at that, it's pretty much, well, okay, Dead or Alive's main problem is how Sony have done it, where for some reason you can only buy bulk. You can't buy the DLC individually on Sony systems.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I think if there's one, it's just fine. It's perfectly fine. Because like, when the characters come out, I can just buy the characters.
Yeah.
I mean, costume-wise, I've just been buying Kitomi. I bought the pirate costume because it's the closest to
Spider.
The Daroach costume. There we go. I'm not a fan of the hat too much, but I do love Spider's design. He was actually the star ally I played through first. Well, actually, I played just Bandana D first, and oh gosh, I cannot play Bandana D.
I can.
In the Dream Thrones mode.
Yeah, I've done it as him, King Dedede, Daroach.
Oh, actually, quickly on that mention, the very thing I was going to mention about Bandana D before, there's been a Smash Brothers Japan event where for some reason, it's like Smash Live in Japan, where they've mentioned they're going to be handing out bandanas to people at this event. Like this official Nintendo Smash Bros. Event. Saying that bandanas have always had an importance to Smash Brothers. But it's like, why are they handing out bandanas? Like, none of the mainstay Nintendo characters or anything have bandanas.
What third party... What?
The only third party characters with bandanas are Ryu and Snake.
Okay.
But why are they handing out bandanas? For the event. I mean, it's not happened yet, but...
Well, Bandana D would certainly be interesting, because it's got absolutely nothing to do with the other DLC characters.
I mean, heck...
Other DLC
characters. You never see it coming. Maybe that's the whole point. You never saw it coming that they'd actually suddenly switch the entire theming.
That's true. What's my...
Are you up?
I don't have one.
You tip your hat. Tip Fedora.
Milady. And Daroach was immediately ruined. Box.
But yeah, so aside from that being absolutely adorable of Gracie, to be hey, I've got a game like it took a while to get Charlie interested in any game that I played. Like I've tried to get him to play Kirby, and he can't figure out a Wii remote isn't supposed to be held like a TV remote. He's not great at Kirby games, and he's not really one for sitting down. Like it's surprising how I got him to even interact with Pokemon, but he hands me the controller to do all the buttons. And he tells me what to do. Yeah, he doesn't play games himself. He's a sore loser as well. But meanwhile, Gracie seems very keen on it. I think it's because she can live out her desire to beat people up. Yeah, she is so gonna get in trouble immediately. I don't think her mother is happy with us constantly joking about it. But it's true! She is gonna be such a troublemaker! But to be fair, it's only taking after her father. That's true. I like how Daroach's ice rod is a goddamn machine gun. Look at this! But the other Dead or Alive aspect to talk about. Shimbori is stepping down as director. Of Dead or Alive.
Oh.
He is now only producer. He was originally in the producer-director role. And his explanation for why he feels that Dead or Alive hasn't done too well, and I guess mixed messaging and such, is he had both the director and producer role this time. And so he was kind of, there was no second person to, one, handle different interviews, or B, to, correct him on stuff, or, basically rein him in on other aspects and all that. And he feels it's going to be better if the roles are kept separate.
That is surprisingly sensible.
Yes.
Hidden stuff.
It does kind of feel like it's a case of, he obviously they're not happy with how Dead or Alive 6 hasn't done too well.
Yeah.
It's done, I think like it's only done like 350,000 sales in its first month compared to Dead or Alive 5, which had 57,000.
Oh. I never noticed that picture.
Yeah, they've added a bunch more.
Oh.
With the updates. There's little Easter eggs like that.
I wish maybe they could make Crash so it has some extra abilities along with Parade and whatever, because Paint used to be a... In fact, it's interesting Paint doesn't have its finisher.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, the healing thing's so much better.
And references clearly the ultimate ability in any Kirby game, Fridge.
I'm still waiting on Lightbulb to return. It wasn't any good, but it was adorable.
It was, quite honestly, the worst ability. Other than curling, I think. Oh, Ice Skate was pretty terrible.
No,
as well.
Fire Ice.
Oh, that was the one you rubbed your head.
Oh no, I've been eaten.
Hey, get off me. Release a bunch of baby mice on. Fat guy, go.
I guess you're a beetle now.
Who did we turn?
Bandanity. I'm feeling significantly sure at this rate.
We had a Bandanity?
Sorry, Power Souldin.
Oh.
Because originally it was Sir Kibble, and I was like, Sir Kibble sucks for some reason.
Sir Kibble.
His AI just wasn't working.
Wasn't doing great, was he?
But no, like, Shinbori sort of stepped down in that role because, of course, Dead or Alive 6 has not done very well at all.
Yeah.
The season pass doesn't help. The mixed messaging doesn't help.
Yeah.
Like, they try to have it best of both ways, appealing to Evo and at the same time trying to appeal to their core audience. Again, it's like the whole sort of idea people have of Shinbori not knowing the internet exists, as he has, an American interview of Polygon saying how they've toned the game down.
Yeah.
I love how you can play as that Kirby. You have to 100% everything, which is nigh impossible, but...
Yeah. A bit of a douche move. But hey, at least they give you a reward.
Yeah, it's a completionist dream.
Yeah. You've just done everything, now have more to do. Bye. The mixed messaging, the DLC, the lack of content... I mean, my main problem is, of course, the super system. Yeah.
They're replacing the much better power launcher system. And in turn, the super system, I feel, is also why they don't have tag mode.
Yeah.
DOA quest mode would have been improved by tag mode because it gives more variety for what you could do out of the missions. Because most of the missions are just counter this attack so many times.
Yeah.
Which means you constantly just have to wait until the enemy uses that one attack to counter that specific attack.
Which is pretty dull.
But yeah, like, there were problems. Definite problems. And good to see that there's... Hopefully they'll be learned from it. And Shinbori has kind of got a very bad reputation now. Like, the PR was it was easily one of the worst aspects. Like, it was kind of anti-hype, his interviews.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was the other thing. Shinbori stepping us down. I mean, there's been a recent sort of big sort of patch update. I'm assuming in a way to try and to be fair, you got your bottom say. We've got a fire.
We do have a fire.
But what if we need more lives, Raph?
I don't know, man. We're at 40.
Cruel.
The wrong button.
You know, you got... Oh. Or you can do that. That works too.
I'm a dream ally, Liam. The game is mine to play with.
Yeah, like, they've done a recent sort of, patch to, they've thrown in a bunch more things. It was like a whole 1 GB download. One of them, they effectively did an ambassador program thing. Suddenly I've gotten, like, 100,000 player points.
Jesus.
I mean, to be fair, the player points are kind of stupid. Because, again, the problem with Dead or Alive 6 is they have costumes and player points as 2 separate things.
Yeah.
When they should have been 1 currency.
Yeah.
So the player points is to be spent on the titles that I unlock.
Wrong button.
Yeah, the player points are to be spent on the titles that... to be fair, we don't need more broken power like that. The titles that I technically already unlocked.
He can be a friend, because he doesn't have actual moves.
No, but I could have gone into ability. Oh. Chef Quaski's not really being useful, and I could do. And I'm assuming there's going to be some area we need a hammer. Yeah, like that. You're gonna.
Don't worry.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm Daroach. I can do everything.
Thank you, Bugsy.
Basically, what it is playing as Dream Ally. It's like, cool. Well, don't worry. I've got a move for everything.
But yeah, it's good. I guess I can buy, you know, some extra things now with the player points, I guess. But one of the things they introduced has received a bit of controversy because it's kind of been something that people were suggesting they should have done beforehand, before they basically went about trying to tone down the game, you know, change what the default costumes for the characters were and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the people suggested, why don't you have a setting where you could basically make it a, you know, tournament-friendly mode, as it were.
They've introduced tournament-friendly mode.
Effectively, though they mentioned that it isn't actually for tournaments. Because people have said that, oh my gosh, this would work terribly for tournaments because anyone who tunes in is going to think this looks absolutely terrible. Because it's basically the equivalent of having black tar painted on all the characters' chests.
What?
The... I can't remember the exact mode, the name of it. It began with an E. They referred to it by. But the mode itself basically is like a black tar outline of kind of like tank top / shorts applied to every costume. So the only, of course, characters which actually hang, you know, it's actually visible on, like say, even like Kazumi's sort of original outfit, which isn't that sort of revealing, as it were, compared to some of the others. Suddenly her chest will be basically covered and it's in basically skin-tight black tar.
Isn't that worse?
No, apparently because it obscures the cleavage. Which the reason for this isn't apparently for tournament reasons. Apparently it's to stop the videos from being demonetized on YouTube. So they're allowing people to, you know, continue earning money for it. Which, gotta say, that's a nice idea.
YouTube demonetizes DOA.
On that note, yeah, they've also been doing it with Mortal Kombat, which the solution people have found to Mortal Kombat is change the colour of the blood.
Yeah.
So long as it's not red blood, YouTube won't recognise it. Whereas with Dead or Alive's problem, well, people have said there's kind of 2 ways that this could be going. Either the problem is that it has some sort of like cleavage butt recognizer, which is a weird thing.
Yeah.
Or it's just that YouTube are demonetizing anything with Dead or Alive in its name.
Yeah.
Which could be the case. But people have said that the better way to go about that is rather than putting black tar on all the characters in the, you know, in like a attempt to kind of recreate, you know, biker sort of short, you know, the sort of biker short sort of sports bra and such.
Yeah.
The better thing would have just been able to have it so that it defaults to only the less revealing costumes.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, it looks awful. Like this black tar thing, it looks horrendous. It looks completely out of place.
Yeah.
It's like having a sensor bar on screen.
It's kind of funny though. Bridge.
The most exciting power!
Bridge.
Thrilling!
Look how they give you a tutorial on how to be a bridge.
But yeah, that's a thing they've done.
That's
But it is kind of it's. But a lot of people have said rather than turning down the base game, then that they should have done that in the first place. That way, you could have kept the default outfits and such for the characters and the sort of aspects that help reflect Dead or Alive's identity without in the first place.
Yeah.
So it feels like
it's noticed is your Joy-Con rumbles when the dude walks over you.
I guess that could be applied to certain games.
Like it's the HD rumble.
I imagine that.
Was Bonkers alright back there?
No. I imagine that happens in Senran Kagura Reflections a lot.
Probably.
He was already dead, but I decided to go for overkill.
Well, let's go home. By home, I mean.
So I didn't get onto the other Dead or Alive conversation, but yeah, that's what do you think about this whole situation with Dead or Alive 6?
I'm gonna Google what it looks like. I just find it funny that YouTube are demonetizing it. Like Mortal Kombat, I'm fine with being demonetized.
You'll probably be able to find it on Dead or Alive Reddit easily enough.
UA6 blank censored things. Sure.
I think it's got like exposure mode or something. Began with an E, the mode they call it by. It only applies for versus match when you turn event mode on, which is which I guess that's what confused people. It was the tournament saying. I think a part of the problem also is that it took 3 days for people to get an answer as to why that mode was introduced. So people were having a right go at Koei Tecmo until they said, oh, it's actually because our videos keep getting demonetized on YouTube. You know, people who actually stream the sort of series and such, but...
Yeah, it don't look great.
No. It is very slapped on, as it were.
It don't really do anything, gonna be honest.
No, but it hides the cleavage. That's all they need to do.
It doesn't, though. It just changes the colour of it.
Oh no, because it's like a thick black sort of thing. There's no...
No, I'm looking at it. It really doesn't. Like, you can still see the line. It, in fact, has light physics. So the light reflects off of it. Like, that's not doing anything. If anything, that's showing it off more. Is it just because it's not anyone's skin colour?
I guess. I mean,
because it is like pure black.
It's too dark for even Lisa, obviously, because it is pure black.
It's latex.
Mm.
That's not. It doesn't do anything.
But apparently, that's what they think will just stop the videos from being demonetized. But whether it does or not, maybe just depending on YouTube. Just like for instance, Dead or Alive Extreme is no longer listed in the YouTube game recommendations. You know how like you go to advanced settings to say what game your videos are part of? Like I type in say Fallout 4 and Fallout and it'll pop up with suggestions. Apparently you type in Dead or Alive Extreme won't pop up. YouTube don't list Dead or Alive Extreme at all.
That's sad.
Dead or Alive Extreme 3 is still selling really well.
YouTube
despite being region exclusive.
Yeah. YouTube kind of sucks.
Hope you enjoyed our YouTube video! Cheerio!
Yeah, suck it, YouTube. Yeah.